How painful was it?
What?
Was it a painful process to dismantle your own personal belief system and build a new one?
Well, it's very painful, but it's blessing because I wanted some sort of enlightenment.
Yes.
I was praying,
Right.
right? And this window opens up, right? This window of new way of seeing stuff, and that's a divine intervention. That's a divine intervention. That's the only way this can happen, because no matter how much you try, right? When the divine intervention comes, it opens up. It's like, But you have to also be searching. I was a very low place. You understand? Very low place. So I was searching heavily. But I still have to go back to my reading, right? But there's some training I've done before.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This introspection, this idea of to walk by yourself, to ask questions, right? So there was a building, the foundation was there, right? And then this window opens up, this divine intervention as to Dostoevsky, I read Crime and Punishment.
Yes.
Long time ago.
Yes.
But I never understood, because Dostoevsky was dealing with the ontological liberation.
That's correct.
He was asking questions as to, because he also went through this process where because Russia was going through, this ideas coming from Europe.
Yes.
Right? And he got caught up.
Correct.
In that he actually went to prison. For that, right? But then he traveled to Europe because everybody was telling him, he left Kinshasa, for example. Just say he's Congolese, right? And all these Congolese are coming back from Europe, and they're talking about how this place is magic, And he goes back, and he doesn't look at he looks at this, not the surface. Because these people look at the surface. He looks at deep. He opens the hood up, right? And he didn't like what he saw. He didn't like the soulness. There is no soul, right? Automation. Basically, people are zombies. So he comes back to Russia and says, "Hey, this is not the path that we want to take. Right? This is not. We need to reject this. And we need to get back to our beliefs.
Yes.
And we need to be orthodox. The religious. That is us, right? But then in Russia you have the revolution, the Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution comes from, it's a Marx, it's a Western idea, right? It comes to Russia. To Russia, that's foreign.
Yes.
Because when we think about communism, we think about Russia. The communism was a foreign thing. Dostoevsky was warning against that, right? So the Roscoe, the main character, in Russian Roscoe means schism. Schism. So he's referring to the schism that took place 1054, the East and the West, right? Where they said, okay, you are this and we are that. You understand? So his main character in the Crime and Punishment, he is basically embodiment of the enlightenment. Reason over everything. He can reason his way. He's part of the selected few. That as long as he can justify his crime, right, that he can get away with it because he's a chosen individual. So the West, that's the whole idea, that we are the chosen. The colonial project came from because they are the chosen.
They can justify atrocity through reason.
Through reason, of course.
Holy shit.
Because they are basically civilizing. It's a civilizational mission. So Dostoevsky, So all of his writing is an indictment
Correct.
of the Enlightenment. I didn't see it like that when I read it. I didn't see it as an enlightenment. I just saw this character who I identified with. This character, I was like, of course. You know, look at the criminal justice. If you have the money, you can have the best. You can hire the best lawyers.
You can get away with it.
You can get away with it because they can make the argument because they're so good. They're the best, right?
Yeah.
Versus a public defender or someone that's not as good.
Whoa.
Or not even doesn't have the same connection to the system.
The ethos, yeah.
Right? They're not in the, you know. So that's what that leads you to, that a criminal can get away with. So even the justice system is fake. It's based on this idea of who can make the best argument.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Dostoevsky was talking about. Because this kid was actually a law student. Right?
Yeah.
And he was young, right? And his landlady, she's old, she's mean. I mean, so Dostoevsky, what he does is he makes the argument to the point where you say, okay, he has every right to do it.
Yeah.
Because he has more to offer to society than she does. She is in the latter stage of her life. You know, he's just the beginning. So what? So what if he kills her? Because he can affect them.
Whoa.
You understand? And then you have you have this book right here, Notes from the Underground. Basically, this guy who was at the underground.
Yes.
Right? So Dostoevsky is, and the Russian, because I tried to figure out why is Russia not considered, because he said we're not the West. He says we are not the West, we are Russians.
Yeah.
Right? We are part of the East.
Yeah.
You know? So for that reason, the West doesn't like the fact that these guys have the sauce. Right? Africans, you can have the sauce, but there's no credibility. Right? Well, the Russians look like them.
Yeah.
So they have to be crushed because they have the sauce. You have writing. You just have to read. Dostoevsky wrote it. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
In terms of literature. Right? You know?
It is interesting because even our best, I'll take Lumumba, they lean toward, there's an alignment toward the East. With Russia, kind of the philosophy,
but Russia in terms of scientific socialism.
Yes.
Russia in terms of communism. Not in terms of what this ontological. Right? Russia is, this is the way, but they're not imposing their views. They're not saying, I'm talking about the Russia before the communist. The communist is basically, it's a materialistic revolution. Right? It's a material.
Interesting, because early you pointed out about, I see, giving me gun. So the social communism is an excuse for the West to attack the East to some extent.
Communism is a way to make sure Russia is less of a threat. So when the communist intellectuals came, they were trying to get rid of this ontological, this divine connection.
Yeah, correct.
When people have this divine connection, they're dangerous because they're not listening to reason.
Yes.
So communism came to bring them. So communism was basically overthrow. Try to bring to Russia what they already refused, but kind of make it in a way that's like, it's the working class versus the feudal lords, right? But then you have to, the new god is Lenin.
Right.
The new god is this Western inspired intellectuals. Marx is German.
Yes.
So the Germans were about to do, were going to do what, what Hitler could not do, what Napoleon could not do. Right? So that lasted about 45 years, 50 years. You understand? Now they're back. Russia is back to its ontological. Self, the divine. We answer to no one but God. You know what I'm saying? So they're back. And the fact that they're back now, look at them. The West is crumbling. They can't even, So ontological revolution is a must. We Africans have to get back to our ancestors, or get back to what made us before colonial. And stop repeating this criminal enlightenment bullshit, which is not even working for them. And they're the best at it.
They keep eating their own tail.
They're the best at it. It created isolation. It created segmentation. It created this misery.
Over medicated.
Over medicated. I mean, doctors are not even doctors.
Pharmaceutical agents.
They are pharmaceutical agents. They represent the big pharma. These are doctors, right? You're supposed to go in there and supposed to heal you, but they don't heal you. They just give you a medicine to basically you stay alive. It's temporary fix. There's no healing. You keep coming back because they're the agents of this pharmas. They represent the pharmaceutical and they represent the insurance company. They don't represent you.
It is it's fascinating to go. I was listening to Elon. It was illustrate the difference between a good lawyer and a good lawyer and a great lawyer. They say a good lawyer know the law, a great lawyer know the judge.
Who said that?
Elon. So for them, it's I can still do anything I want. As long as I get somebody. So they also understand how weak the system is. So they embody the boldness of do the fuck they want to do, any crime, because there's always a back door to their system. But other people think that the system is God.
No, exactly. The system is already, because they have the key. How are you going to compete with that? For example, Israel. Israel, the Mossad. There's Jewish, there's Zionist businessmen in America, right? So the Mossad basically is there's an understanding. You help us, we help you, right? We'll give you business intelligence.
Yes.
Right? We'll go into these businesses and get all their information. Who's going to stop us? Nobody, because these are all idiots. They're idiots. The middle management, the top management, they all been compromised.
That's correct.
So we'll go in there and get all their business strategy, and we'll give it to you, then you can be competitive. Right? Oracle. Victoria's Secrets. All these major companies run by Zionists.
Yes, correct.
Right? So they give intel to Israel, the Mossad, and they get business intelligence so they can be competitive. Right? That's the only way. That's what else is there? Why are these guys so successful? Because they're getting business intel. And that's smarter.
That's right,
They're getting business intel. I got this company as a startup. I came up with this. These guys infiltrate They get the information, they pass it on. Zuckerberg, Facebook.
Yeah, those are CIA.
Business intelligence.
Yeah.
Mossad intelligence. Because it helps Mossad. Right? So these are just middle management. People who just want to get paid. So that's how that works.
You're right. Because I was looking, I'm like, ain't no way all these people are so smart that the rest of the human are not smart. There have to be another force at play that, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like the technology, even the Facebook are using, they didn't create that. They was handed to it to become sort of if a CIA produced a social media company, no one will say yes to it. But if they give to a private citizen to deploy, it disarms everybody.
Exactly.
To participate, then the intel just start flowing in. So we are the product of trying to keep control.
And how many African leaders are on Facebook?
There's a poster in Congo of our president with all his social media, Facebook.
So he's social media savvy? Is he a social media savvy?
No. Meaning his primary source of social media of communicate with the population.
It's the social media.
Yeah, so it's like Facebook, is Twitter.
So which means that he's savvy.
Yes.
Because he knows how to use this tool.
Correct. It's also meaning is like there's no sovereignty. You as the head of state, you have to utilize this system. That's the same people you are pretending to be against. But you utilize their system. Mm-hmm. It's like there's a major contradiction. So to be purely sovereign, is it possible to truly be sovereign?
Is it true to sovereign?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be digitally sovereign.
Okay.
Digital, you have to be sovereign. Knowledge-wise, you have to be sovereign. And ontologically, in terms of beliefs, you have to be sovereign. That's the only way you can be truly sovereign.
Yeah.
But it starts with the ontological and knowledge. Because once you have that, then you can move on to the digital.
Yeah.
Because then once you get to digital, it's like, okay, we need to, because open source is there.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people, the father of open source, I read his manifesto.
Yeah.
Right, this guy named Richard. I read his manifesto, and these guys are ready to, it's out there. You just have to put the work.
Correct. So
train, send them to India.
Yes.
Don't send them to MIT, send them to India.
Yeah.
Get trained there. And you have to switch it up. Right? India is not 100%, but at least you can, let's say it's 50%.
Yeah.
You send them to MIT, they'll be corrupted. They might not even go back. Right?
It's seduced right away.
He's here. Right? Send big group to India, to China.
Yeah.
These guys are ahead, right?
Yeah.
And they come back, and now then we have, open source.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come up. Let's try to interconnect Africa in terms of digitally, right? But in order for you to do that, you have to have a freedom of thought. Ontologically, you have to be detoxed.
So, if you sit at the table with head of state of Africa, where are some? What are the things you suggest them? You advise them to undertake to start detoxing some part of his population. Yeah.
I would say less power for the capital. Let's just strengthen the villages. Let's kind of decentralize. Let's take power little by little away from the capital city. right? Because once you take power away from the capital city, there's no intelligence. What can the West learn? They're not going to go to the village, because the village, they have a different way of thinking. Ontologically, the village
That's right.
is still
Yes.
sovereign.
Correct.
You know, there's still that tradition. Let's rely on that. Let's get people from the village, kids from the village, and train them so they can be empowered. Right? Let's get rid of this elite. Let's identify who the elites are.
Yeah.
And then little by little get rid of them. Either they have to go to Europe, right?
Yeah.
If they don't go to Europe, then you get rid of them, you kill them. Simple as that. You erase that, little by little. So this revolution, right? But decentralization is critical, right? Because once you decentralize it, you make it harder for these European powers to gather intel, to infiltrate, to corrupt. And then let's get those kids from the countryside who believe in they have different ethics.
Yes.
You know, someone who's from the countryside and someone who's from the city, their thinking is different.
That's correct.
You know? How they deal with other people is different. The relationship is different. Let's bring that and let's embrace that.
That's correct.
But let's keep recycling it, you know, and then send these people back and then let's get new. That's the other one. If you truly want, but how many leaders truly want that? Because these leaders are coming from this corrupt class.
Yeah. It's the same thing to Frantz Fanon, kind of the bourgeoisie class. Because they always paranoid about their status. So they always have this, they not embrace anywhere. Those are the most dangerous.
The what?
They not embrace anywhere.
Okay.
They not embrace in the West. They not completely embrace in the East. But they become agent of the West.
Yeah.
Because the paranoia is a source of control. So yeah, I think that is the biggest class problem that we have. Is like those called the superpositions. Like they don't completely embody the African culture, but they are seeking to the Western approval, but they never get it. Because they will never go and get it. That's how they keep them at the tensions. And those are the leading mind, those all have the responsibility. And looking back, it's like the kind of Frantz Fanon write about the bourgeoisie class. It is the most dangerous virus that we have culturally. And I'm sure when you go back, the default is to put you in a bourgeoisie class right away. But it seems like you define that by your behaviors, right? By embracing walking, how has been your experience into that class when they're coming back in Ethiopia?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. There's a question. So how that manifests itself in your country? Those class, are they leading class, or how can you tell? How can you tell about them in some extent? The bourgeoisie class.
Okay. So Ethiopia is different.
Okay.
Right. Ethiopia, as I said, because of this idea of the knowing itself, right? This idea of like religion is authentic.
Yeah.
You know, Christianity is not something that's imported.
Yes.
Yeah. But you still have, of course, you have the upper class. You know, this bourgeois class.
Yeah.
You still have that. As long as as an African, if you're a business person, right? It's crazy how Africans, they can have a lot of money, they're business people, but they cannot travel.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
right? It's tough to get visa,
Landlocked, yeah.
right? They cannot travel to the West and try to get markets.
That's correct. It's a common problem, yeah.
So because of that reason, you have to compromise. You know, those who can travel because they want to get markets, then they have to compromise. You know, they have to take on this because the system is designed where those who are okay with the system are the ones who get the visa.
That's correct.
You know, when you go to the American embassy, you know, to come to America, because this is what the market is. As an African businessman,